everybody, and welcome to the first episode of On the Record, a show where I get to talk to some brilliant artists. I am your host, Liam Michael Henry, and today our very first guest is the brilliantly talented Jermaine Carter.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Yes, sir. There you go. I'm doing really well, man. I'm doing really well. This is a cool show that y'all have. I'm glad for you. I'm glad to be bringing me on so I can speak.
Before we get started, just want to give the audience a brief understanding of who you are. They've never met you. They have no idea who you are. Sell yourself. A little elevator pitch.
Well, just let you guys know, I'm a musician from Philadelphia. And if anyone who's familiar with the Philadelphia scene, it's really rich on neo soul, R&B. That's just us. I'm a composer. I've been composing since, I don't know, middle school, and I've been playing piano for longer than that, since elementary school, for 12 years straight. But man, I just love to just compose music, and that's just me. Just writing for the big old horn section and writing with singers, working with singers, taking crazy synth solos, Corey Henry style, Glenn Gibson style, PJ Morton style. That's just who I am. But also, I'm just Jermaine. I always kind of find it a little corny when people say like, oh, like, it's kind of like generic, like when people be like, oh, like, you can't fit my musical style in a box, but it's like, you play bebop, and you've been playing, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you've been playing jazz for 12 years straight. I'm pretty sure we can fit that. you overheard you playing like a bunch of Charlie Parker looks. That's in a box. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, so as you can probably tell, I like make a lot of jazz cats mad, but, I'm just a unique guy.
Well, I want to talk to you about it. I don't think I've ever actually heard this, but you said you played piano for like 12 years now. I want to hear like your first moment that you kind of got introduced to music and like felt that this was something that like was meaningful to you.
I must have been around 7 or 8 years old, probably even younger. Honestly, when I say 8, a lot of times I tell people that I've been playing piano since 8. But honestly, I don't even remember how old I was before I moved to New Jersey, because I moved to New Jersey for around 5 years, and then I moved back to Philly, and I'm still living in Philly right now. Well, obviously I'm out for California, but I'm gonna just say I was around maybe 7 or 8, and I was at my grandparents' house, and I'm the only musician in my family, but I guess they just randomly had a keyboard there, and it's just this great keyboard. It was a toy. So I'm there with my cousins, and I was hanging with my cousins, and they bring out this gray Radio Shack keyboard. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm playing with it, and I'm just smacking it, and have like just hearing the types of sounds that come out of this device. And I was just super fascinated by it. And it got to the point where every single time I would go to my grandparents' house, I would just always ask for it. And I got possessive of the keyboard as a little child. Like, my sister would try to play it, my cousins tried to play it, and my parents started to let me know, like, that is not your keyboard, One day, we were going somewhere. So fast forward in time, one day we were going somewhere, I guess we were at the store or whatnot, and it was the cold winter. It was one of the cold winters in Philly. And we come back to the house, and we realized that our grandparents, I guess, somehow was in our house because they have their heater. They left their heater for us. They left, I think, a couple things for us. I go upstairs to our room, to like my little bedroom that I was in at the time with me and my brothers, and I see the keyboard just lying on the floor. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So no one else was playing with it, and I just kind of just took it, and it eventually just became my little keyboard. That was my first instrument. And that's how I got into, that's my first experience with the keyboard. I wasn't playing like music or whatnot, but I was just literally sitting there hours on end, just playing it. Fast forward to elementary school. I go to elementary school, and they're talking to us about the music program. I was in third grade at the time, and I meet this guy named, I'm not sure, can I like mention names up here?
Yeah, go for it.
I meet this guy named Mr. Farrell. Now Mr. Farrell, he is he's just crazy drummer, right? Insane. Like, so he was, talking to all the little kids about the drum program and the school band. So really the first instrument that I've ever technically speaking learned how to play was really the drums.
Like formally?
Yes, formally. Well, it was a snare drum. I wouldn't say the drums. I would just say snare drum as a marching band style. To this day, I can still sight read rhythm, and I can, I was playing that all the way until high school. So from third grade to eighth grade, all the way to high school, and then then I stopped during high school, and then after doing that, I started playing the keyboard again. And by the way, sorry, I'm skipping around. Third grade was when I moved. I moved to South Jersey in third grade.
Mm-hmm.
Moved back to high school. I moved back to Philly for high school.
I see. So when you were in New Jersey, that was your drum,
Yes.
like your session.
And I never try to hide New Jersey. It's not like I'm over here like promoting Philly and hiding Jersey. Like,
Yeah.
because Jersey, I feel like if it wasn't for the education from Jersey, I don't think I ever would have gotten the resources to like explore myself musically.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so we're in Jersey and I take the keyboard back out. It's been years since I take it back out. Since I've just been playing with it because it was like a toy.
And you had just been messing around with it?
Yeah.
Or you had like lessons?
I've just been messing around with it. And I've been messing around with it so much to the point where I would start to realize, these two notes sound good together. Like C and E. Okay, couple days more, these three notes sound good together. These notes in sequence, this melody sounds good together, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. Now I'm playing in all the right keys, perfectly in C major. It's all the right keys. But then I start to realize, like, you can't just play. I realized that, okay, you can't just play randomly on the right key. It sounds like you have to play. There are rules to it. So I started to learn how to be melodic.
And you're kind of developing these rules yourself just by like experimenting and like finding things that sound good? Or is this like online research a little bit? Like
a little bit of both. Online research kind of came later.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time, it was really just me sitting there and really just being on the keyboard. And I guess my brain just started to figure out, okay, this sounds good. This does get. It was just experimenting, questioning. Yeah. What if I do this? What if I do that? What if I add the black keys in there? Right? Like I can't just be over here. Obviously, the black keys are there for a reason, right? And then this, I remember one particular time I was sitting on the floor cross-legged, pretzel style, I guess you would call it. Keyboard right in front of me. Probably it's a small keyboard, probably as wide as this table.
Yeah.
And my parents come and they were recording me, like, and that's the first time I realized that, okay, maybe I actually sound kind of good, like because they're recording me. They was like, okay, well, the keyboard had this thing on it, the display. And I had presetted songs in it, some Beethoven, Fury Release.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I would look at the keyboard, I would look at the display when notes are being played, and I would copy it. There was this Alexa ad. Funny enough, it was the ad for Alexa, and I can probably still find it for you. And the ad featured Moonlight Sonata, the first movement by Beethoven. And it was such a nice piece. I'm like, that is so cool. It was Moonlight Sonata, and I learned that by ear. And I'm starting to realize that playing by ear is not that hard.
And this is like sophomore year of high school? What time is this?
This was still when I was in elementary school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this is you messing around and kind of just figuring
This was this was fourth grade. So all of this is taking a span within 1 year.
I see.
Yeah, so from me taking the keyboard back out to third grade, so for me, I would say, when I was saying that, third grade is when I took the keyboard back out and I was saying I found out what notes sounded good together. From third grade to fourth grade, I was already playing by ear and just learning stuff. And
so you must have been really obsessed with this. Were you spending hours after school and things just messing around with it?
Yeah, it was my version of fun. It was really my version of fun. People always say music helps me escape, and it doesn't always help you escape. Sometimes, to be honest with you, when going through grief, every single time I went through grief a couple years ago. Wow, that was 2 years ago at this point. Damn near 3. It didn't help me escape. It made it worse because I think more when I'm at the piano. So I'm at the piano, memories started popping up, and I can't play when I'm grieving somebody. I hate it.
So it's like bringing those emotions out rather than kind of putting them away.
Yeah. And I don't think you should use music to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? But music, it just helps me think more of just about anything that's going on. What am I going to eat today? I think I had a good time spending time with so-and-so. I wonder what my mom thinks of such and such. Or, you know what I'm saying? I think about these things when I'm just playing. And I just kind of think to myself. But obviously, I can change it. I can, if I want to escape from reality, I can.
And when you're thinking while you're playing about like things in your life, is that like almost a form of like mindfulness where you're playing and you're playing as kind of a meditation sort of, or are those emotions that you're thinking about, are those coming through in the music you're playing?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
I think it's more of the first one. There's been some times when I'm just so angry, and I try to play angry music at the piano, but it sounds inauthentic because that's just simply not what I want to play.
So those are almost two separate things for you.
It almost is, yeah. And literally, it's almost two separate things. Like sometimes, now I can compose angry music, but it's hard to compose angry music because it takes time to compose. It's hard for me to feel angry for 6 months straight working on a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So almost your musical expression is kind of a separate attitude or feeling than your actual current.
Yes, I'm saying it's my musical expression is more of who I am as a whole versus who I am in that moment in time.
That's really interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like my musical expression is more of who I am as a person, not just I'm angry right now because I got in an argument with my parents, or I'm angry right now because I don't like the way so and so. Right? It's more of this is who I am. This is every music that I've listened to, every person I've ever met, every conversation I've ever had, every joke I've ever heard and told. These things is an extension of me.
I would imagine that helps kind of center you almost because you always have a kind of north pole of who you really are in music and how you really feel about things versus just your day-to-day what's going on.
It just helps me it helps me. It exposes me to myself. You know what I'm saying? It exposes me. It lets me know that there's parts of me that I just can't. It's this is what I can't change it. That's what I meant when I said it's just because again when I was saying I really can't put my music into a box. I can't because it's me. Yeah. I'm not I'm not. When you talk to if you were to compare my style of playing to all the other jazz cats in Dortmund, I sound nothing alike.
Yeah, I mean you have influences and things, but what you're actually playing is so core to you, and everything about your life is summed up in it.
Yes. It is not just music. It's the people I encounter every day. It's my personality. Yeah. It's the comedians I watch. It's the experience I've had in high school, middle school. It's the experience I've had on the stage. It's what it feels like to listen to I Wish by Stevie Wonder, stuff like that.
Could you go a little bit more in depth about that? Obviously you have musical, you talked about Corey Henry and those types of musicians, but outside of music, who do you think are your biggest influences on your style that are other artists?
Musically?
Yeah. Think actors or directors or people you wouldn't assume would influence you.
Chris Tucker.
Really?
Yes. Chris Tucker. Conan O'Brien.
Really?
Yes.
How do you think those impact your playing?
Because they impact me as a person. I think anything that impacts you as a person, it impacts your playing. It's not always about music. And literally that's where I get my whole humor from. That's where I get my whole, I guess, quote unquote comedic timing from. That's where it's it comes from staying up all night as a kid because I was crazy afraid of the dark. So I would just watch a bunch of YouTube videos until I sleep. It's watching old school Conan O'Brien videos from the 90s. Walking around New York City completely unscripted and just capturing every single thing on film.
Wow. So the subconscious influences of your personality are subconsciously reflected in how you think about playing and how you perform.
Yeah,
Wow, that's fascinating.
yeah. It's personal. It's who I am, and that's why I like performing. And I know I'm kind of like going on a tangent, and
No, this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you.
that's why I like performing. Performing on stage, for me, every single time. I'm talking about when I really get into it. Every single time, it's like it's me being authentic.
Mhm.
It's me having a conversation with the audience, not verbally, but it's me. Like I don't worry about anything. Like it's so freeing. It's like growing wings that can like literally just fly away. It's so freeing because I can be authentically me without being judged musically, and I can literally, I can almost feel a physical back and forth going on between me and the audience. Because you remember when I said my music is me.
Yeah.
I'm expressing myself. I'm not expressing a singular political idea.
Yeah.
I'm not
Or even how
expressing-
you're feeling in that moment.
Yes, I'm expressing my life. I'm expressing all the comedians I've ever watched. I'm expressing all of the food I've ever ate. I'm expressing who I am. And the fact that the audience can appreciate it, even if it's negative, I can just feel the reaction towards it. I press a note and I can feel their reaction towards that note. And I press another one and it's like it's me sending information out and receiving information in. Even if the audience is dead silent.
Yeah,
You can you can almost feel their presence. And it's freeing because that's me being authentic to myself and being appreciated for that. That's them appreciating who I am as a person right there on that stage that the piano is bringing out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've noticed that in, the performance that I worked on with you, but also some of the things I've seen in like Carson that you've been in. It's not even like, obviously people like cheer, and you've done some like back and forth work with the audience, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how you can really bring out, like, you shape the whole mood of the room when you play, and it just comes straight from you. Like it's when you're taking a solo, you can feel like almost the audience breathe with the music. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And I want to talk more about like your musical training, because you've talked about how you've been experimenting and things like that. But obviously you're going to school for jazz piano. That takes a certain level of like technical ability. I would assume you've had like more professional training on the keyboard. Is that true? And what does that kind of look like?
At USC?
At USC and before USC, like, has it just been messing around for you, or has there been like formal
For the most
lessons?
part, yeah. Up until USC, I would say. I mean, I've had lessons here and there, but by the time I've been taking lessons, I was like already playing things that were more complicated than what we were doing. But what lessons did do is that it helped me get my reading up to a certain extent. I feel like I come from a different background as everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And I stand on like a sore thumb. And when you don't come from 4 years of jazz and straight neo soul, you can't translate that language directly, right? So you got to start from the basic. So it's been really hard trying to just be authentic just be authentically me, while also just kind of having to be like, while also feeling restricted. It feels like having a second voice that you just can't express because it's just so different. I feel like I would say it's just the fact that I just stand out. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a formal training, is just stylistically different styles. I'm just so unorthodox. I don't have the jazz language under my fingers, and I'm not saying that's not important. Like I would love to have the jazz. That's the reason why I came here, and that's the reason why I didn't want to go stay in school in Philly, because I feel like I'm comfortable with the Philly scene. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying I'm the best, I'm the boss of it. But I know every time, like I know what it's like over there. I know the neo soul stuff that they do. I know the R&B stuff that they do, right?
And you want to diversify.
Yeah, because if you're comfortable all the time, you're not growing. But it's really just the different styles. It's just hard to adapt because I just feel like, man, I can like rip and I can show guys who I really am. Like I really wish I had the opportunity, because I definitely feel like some people were just, not to like name names, I definitely feel like some people just think I can't play.
Just is that because you just don't play the style that they love, or
I would say I don't play the style. Well, I don't play the style that they love, but also I just simply don't play the style that they love good yet because I'm still new to it. I'm still very basic. I'm playing catch up with everyone else that's been playing jazz for 6 years straight, 4 years straight, 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Versus the whole R&B, neo soul, and gospel that I'm just always used to, right? So I mean, it's been last year was definitely such a challenge, but this year has been easier. Next year I expect it to be easier, correct? Because now I kind of have this momentum rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you because you were talking about you've kind of been messing around. You haven't had a lot of formal training. Obviously, playing with a group, I've heard from other jazz musicians, a lot of it is like theory talk and learning like chord extensions and talking about that sort of thing. And as both in composition and in performance, how does the ratio between like the amount of like just pure music theory you're working with and thinking about versus just playing your like feeling and like working through it in less of like a structured way?
Can you say that playing in a group?
Both. Just how has that like affected your work right now?
I mean, when it comes to the theory talk, it's useful. Really is useful. Because at the end of the day, you can play all the neo soul and gospel all you want, but it is jazz. I mean, well, okay, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It derives from jazz language, right? But at the same time, neo soul and gospel language has kind of taken the whole thing for itself. It's different. That's all. Like when people say like, and I'm kind of going on a tangent here. When people say, I kind of get upset when people say like, neo soul is just. I said people need to realize that neo soul is not just modern jazz with electric instruments.
Yeah.
And they say like, well, it's not. Not neo soul. Fusion. Sorry, fusion.
Oh yeah.
They say fusion is not just modern jazz with electric instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, well, it's not what jazz is. I'm like, no. First things first. The fusion is interesting because it has multiple different layers. Fusion has layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
You have your funk fusion. That's where we get the term fusion from. It was a mixture of jazz and funk music.
Mm.
Gospel, as in modern gospel, not traditional gospel. Whenever you have gospel music, you will have like your secular music that's kind of based off of your gospel music. So like 90s R&B, like you can hear the similarities between the 90s R&B and the 90s gospel music.
When it comes to just like musically?
Yes, the harmonics, the chord progressions, some of the instruments, sometimes the instrumentation. And of course you can disagree with me if you want. Because I just know someone like at this point.
I feel like that's a heated conversation.
Yeah.
Some Thornton kids are gonna be.
I didn't say that.
Drop some names.
No, it's like I just really like I love our Thornton kids. You know what I'm saying? But so sorry when it comes to so like that anyway. So fusion, it comes from modern gospel. When you listen to some of the things that they do in the churches, how they had like the lead synthesizer and a lot of that language really comes from gospel chops and Glenn Gibson, Corey Henry. It's just multiple different avenues to coming. And it's funny because there are so many different avenues, everyone has their own, everybody's fusion is different at this point. Nowadays fusion kind of means like just whatever.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of an umbrella term.
Yeah. But in LA, fusion means something totally different than in Philly. Philly fusion, usually we think of something more neo soul and R&B heavy based and gospel heavy based.
I want to ask you about that because more than anyone I've ever met, you are so passionate about like geographical influence for music. Yeah. Like you've talked about Philadelphia fusion and like New Jersey having different style, LA having a different style. Mm-hmm. Where do you think that's come from compared to some other musicians I know who just kind of put it into genre specifics?
Say it again?
Like how was your exposure to those different geographical differences? How have you noticed those? How have you been like influenced by those? Because a lot of people I've met in Thornton don't really think about that or talk about geographics changing.
It's important.
Style.
I think a lot of it really is like it's important because it's there. It's not like opinionated necessarily. Like you know, I think it's just it's cultural differences. It really comes from noticing who comes, you know, who comes from where. Like New York. New York, yes, it is heavy on the jazz bar on every single corner that you can probably think of, right? They got a lot. Probably, I'm just guessing, probably has the most jazz bars in all of, you know, definitely have more than LA.
Yeah.
Has way more than Philly. You know, they probably got, I don't know, maybe like 100, couple hundred, maybe, or maybe like big. I don't know. They just have a lot. It's
and
like,
having that like density and
it also comes from the culture.
Yeah.
East Coast, like this, Rush, a lot of.
You just start a war again.
A lot of LA people like to think that LA. I don't argue with a lot of people from Los Angeles because it's like you can't say you don't even have to be critiquing Los Angeles. You can just say something about Los Angeles and they think you're like being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You can't say anything about LA to an LA person because they're going to take it as disrespectful. But people, you know, LA people think that Los Angeles is like, and it's just like, that's not the atmosphere of it. Now it is busy, but like it's LA. Like it's not like New York where we have one single downtown. No, it's oh well, this person is doing this thing in this part of LA. This person's doing this thing, so it's not localized.
So it's less competitive, or something.
Less competitive.
Or is it just less intense?
I would say like it's just as busy. Like in terms of the amount of things that get done in one day, honestly might be even more than New York because LA is just simply bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like geographically, it's bigger than Jamaica.
But it's also more diluted because
it's more diluted because we don't have. You don't have to go to downtown to get business. Yeah. Go to, you know, Hollywood or go to Hollywood. You can't go downtown. Go to Santa Monica. You don't even have to stay in the actual city of LA. Like things happen in LA County.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's a huge that's
a huge area. Things happen in LA County. It's not, oh, we have to go downtown because there are 50,000 jazz clubs in downtown. No, there is a jazz club in Santa Monica, which is like 30 minutes away from everything else.
And that density in certain cities like New York and Chicago, that influences the style.
Yeah, because it's nice. Yeah. You know, it's hey, we're gonna go out we're gonna go out late at night and we're gonna hit up a jazz bar.
Yeah, and everyone's bumping shoulders.
It's
close together. It's like a real tight.
Take the train to go. You know, I haven't been to like New York like that, but I'm saying from my experience in Philly, shoot, take the Broad Street line express, you know, go down to 15th Street, you know, take the L if you don't really want to walk all the way to 13th, and just get to Sampson, you go to Time Restaurant, or go to Margoli's, go to Black Squirrel, South.
Versus LA, it's like a 5-hour drive and you're at your gig.
Or like versus LA, where it's like you just have to drive.
Yeah,
you need to drive. You really can't take no subway like that, you know. Like you just gotta drive, you know. So you can. It's just gonna take a long time, right? But
well, on the topic of the different styles, to pivot a little bit, you have started having some more experience, like taking the lead on certain projects and being more like setting everything up and working with different musicians and organizing things. How has that been, having such a unique style and working with everyone else's style and making like a more of a community?
I love it.
You love it.
That's my dream. You know, being able to be a band leader, it is like, oh my goodness, it is so fire. Because we were just talking. Something that's really important to me is chemistry. Chemistry. Yeah, it's cool that you can play. Like this is the one. I was at this masterclass in the University of Arts. Rest in peace. Right. Rest in peace to University of Arts, Philly. They had like a little summer program, and I should have talked about that earlier when you talked about the formal training. But they had a little summer program that I attended, and there was this guy who said he played, you know, Yamaha, or he's in Brand, all types of you know, he said, you know, it's cool that you can play fast on your instrument. So can every single other person who can play your instrument.
Yeah.
Everybody can play fast. Everybody can play. Everybody, shoot, you can play giant steps. My music teacher can play giant steps. I don't know if I can like say his name, but I know a saxophonist here. You man, he can play giant steps, right?
Yeah.
So yes, it's cool that you can play your instrument. Can you play together? Can we? Not only that, can you play in a group and like not be an a-hole? You know what I'm saying? Because you have certain musicians. I mean, and it's kind of regular, but I don't want it to be too regular. Yes, I understand. We're all musicians. We're all trying to figure our stuff out. Mm-hmm. And some people just get simply upset. Some people get a little frustrated, right? Mm-hmm. Because people don't like, you know. But can you control yourself in that manner? There has been times where I've worked with a couple people, even in here, and I just had to be able to like, you know, because I don't want to get in a whole argument because that's not productive, right? So I mean, so that's one of the main thing is chemistry. It's cool that y'all can play your instruments, but how do you guys blend together?
And that goes back to what you're saying about like it being a conversation between you and the audience. It's also a conversation between you and the band members.
Yes. So that is going on. Another reason why I like to do it is because again, it's composing, composition. It's better than flying because you can really like being able to write something is really cool. Being able to write something, you hear the MIDI file, whatever. Yeah, cool, right? Crack a little music. I'm not gonna say music, just in case if y'all want to endorse me, you know what I'm saying.
Shout out MuseScore.
Shout out MuseScore.
Your midis are great.
Yeah. You hear like okay, so you write out the parts. You hear how they harmonize together, and then boom. You give the parts to the 4 horn players, the 3 singers, the keyboardist, and myself, the bassist and the drums, and you can hear it come to life. Literally, you hear it come to life. You hear how they harmonize to each other. It's so satisfying to like literally see an idea materialize right in front of your eyes, and then you can work in it from there, and you can work in it. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to create music, just express yourself and create music, and also I'm trying like to not get lost, but to be able to create something and have it materialize is just simply a good feeling, especially when you do it with the people that you just like to have fun with. Like as you saw, I like to have fun while rehearsing. I like to make sure everybody's feeling right. Because again, what's the point of any of this if you're going to take the humanity out of it, right? Music is a cooperative thing. Yeah. It is a friendship thing, right? It's something that we can do together, and I need to be able to know you. I need to be able to interact with you. I need to be able to know your sense of humor, and also just hear their different styles, and even just take input. Like, shoot, what do you guys think of this? Do you guys want to swing on this? Do you guys want to swing the 8th notes, the 16th notes on this section? Or and be able to just hear them become more familiar with it and hear each and every single one of their little personalities come out. Yeah. It's like really satisfying. That's why I like...
Yeah, like you were saying, everyone has their own, like music is them truly, rather than it being like whatever they're feeling in that moment. You get that when you're composing, you hear everyone's individual personality.
Yes, I like to make people calm, relax, and because look, we're making music. I'm not going to sit up here and it's not going to be dead silent. It's going to be professional, but it's not going to be dead silent. It's not going to be a lack of humanity in the music because music is human. Yeah, I don't believe when people say that music is like this force that we tap into. No. The value of music, the value of any art comes from the fact that it's like human, which is why I'm really not that like scared of AI art. If anything, it might make me get paid more because people value people, right? It's like not that complicated, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, that was one of my favorite moments from the show that you performed a few weeks ago was that moment in a Spanish joint when the horns like forgot their part, which happens, and they were kind of a little stumped. You had to come out and kind of like help them get it out. Yeah. And it was so wonderful to like see those mistakes and the humanity come out and see their personalities, and everyone kind of laughed in the audience. And
that was my fault. I'm not gonna lie. I confused them because I was like, all right, horns, let's get it. And they was like, I don't think they could like hear what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
So I think they just heard me scream the name, like the word horns, and they was like, wait, what's going on? And I was like, oh shoot, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So then I was like, that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna just embarrass myself for picking, but because yeah, I did that because I felt that it was necessary. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I do want to. We're getting towards the end now, but I want to hear a little bit about. You've mentioned a little bit about you like struggling finding kind of your voice here and working with new styles.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things right now that you feel like are some big hurdles for you that you're trying to work through to like get to that next level?
Really, just not feeling the pressure to change who I am musically, and that's like a big hurdle because I think a lot of the times you constantly get heard of like you constantly hear you need to. I mean, I do need to listen to more jazz, but like you need to listen to more jazz and and you gotta expand more and I sometimes I feel like a part of me kind of feels like if I'm listening to one type of music every single day, I am going to eventually lose the neo soul. Sorry. The neo soul and the gospel that I grew up on, and I don't want to lose that.
Yeah,
I just simply don't. Like, and it's not that I don't want to do the work, but I just feel like that is something that I can't. It just makes me me. It's simply me, and I simply can't change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is. I simply can't change because a part of me. Well, I guess I don't want to. Now, I do want to get better. I don't want to change who I am musically. And sometimes I feel the pressure to do that. Like, I feel the pressure to just simply ditch this old version of me and put on a mask just for school. But no, I feel like the people at school should know who I am too. Mm-hmm. And I've heard before that, like, I stand out in a good way, though. Like, when I perform, they hear the different influences I have. And they said that it's a good thing, right? Like, I just don't want to lose who I am. I feel like I would just lose my authenticity. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's my biggest fear. But yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is kind of connected. Mm-hmm. What are you excited for in the future that is coming up, or a goal that you have that you really want to achieve and you're working towards?
I'm gonna give you short term and long term. I'm gonna give you long term first. Long term, I would love to be a composer.
Full time.
Compose, like I'm saying, compose for me. Mm-hmm. Compose my music, perform my music. That's the dream part.
Yeah.
Being on the stage, have the horn section, of course. Compose music that just comes from the heart and just play my heart out for like the whole world. And just, short term, get better at being a composer. Right? So it's like, literally, like, short term, shoot. I'm hoping to be able to throw like a nice little show. Like, I gotta look for somewhere to do it, but if I find a place to do it, I'm hoping to be able to perform for like my birthday party, 20th birthday party, horn section, maybe singers, keys and like all that shebang. Again, working with the guys, knowing them more musically, because that part is important to me. Like friendships. We are all killing musicians. I don't need to have. I'm not saying that these guys are like not the best, but yeah. I don't need to have the best all the time because we're talented. We just are.
Yeah.
Like literally,
really good.
We're at USC, right?
Yes.
I don't need to find the one person like, no, because we're all good. Yeah. It's at now, I have fun hanging with you. I have fun.
It's about that chemistry.
Yes, it's about the chemistry, right? So like just being able to work with the guys and just hearing their personality and how they affect the music as well. And, just stuff like that. Like, so short term, really just become better at doing that. Maybe have some performances coming up and, but yeah, that's just my short term and my long term. Just who I want to be, and hopefully be able to impact the future generation. And, become endorsed by Roland, and yeah, that's like really long term, or maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
that's a great goal. Well, you've obviously had this is not the end of your career, but you've had a very interesting life and you've had some success. So what is one thing that you wish you knew earlier?
A
lesson that you've learned over your whole life that you wish someone had told you at the beginning.
Just like, no, like, bro, like, you can play. Don't let anyone else make you feel that you can't.
Don't let the pressure change who you are.
Yeah, just don't let any professors make you feel that you can't. Any classmates.
Okay, final question. What, since the show is on the record, what is one record you think everyone should listen to before they die?
D'Angelo, Voodoo.
Voodoo, really?
Hold on. Because I'm thinking, like, damn.
I mean, it's a good one.
Yeah, Voodoo.
Jermaine, where can they find you? Shameless plug.
As of right now, man, you can just, you can find me on Instagram at _Jermaine Carter, JermaineCarter.
We'll put it at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Info.
At _Jermaine Carter is all one word. Well, not the word at.
Well, thank you, Jermaine. I feel like this has been a very good first episode.
Hope it was good. There's been times where I would try to explain myself, but I would kind of choke a little bit because I just never knew what the words were to describe it. But yeah,
I feel good.
Yeah.
All right, tune in next week when we have another guest that I haven't picked yet. All right,
see ya.
See ya.